Younger voters are propelling the Democratic Socialist surge in New York. That's the headline that sets the stage for a surprising trend in the city's political landscape. In a modest house in Queens, 26-year-old copywriter Hunter Layden Cooper Smith lives among roommates and his own political awakening. He voted for Claire Valamain, a Democratic socialist who captured the House primary last month, and he says he cannot imagine a friend who calls themselves a moderate. In the precinct where Ms. Valdez won, she ran on a platform that appealed to a young crowd, a dizzying mix of discontent with the status quo, anger over Israel's treatment of Palestinians, and deep concern about the growing affordability crisis that leaves many young New Yorkers out of reach of decent housing. Across the city, a New York Times analysis of the June primaries found a clear correlation between the age of voters in a precinct and how strongly they backed Democratic socialists. In the 7th Congressional District, where Ms. Valdez emerged victorious, younger registered Democrats turned out at a higher rate than older ones, an anomaly in primary politics. In two neighboring parts of Ridgewood, at least 80% of voters were under 40, and Ms. Valdez got at least 80% of the vote there. On a citywide scale, she captured 76% of the vote in precincts with an average age below RIN and just 39% in those averaging 50 or older, after the Times scrubbed out precincts with significant INA Jewish blocs that traditionally vote in unison regardless of age. Similarly, in Manhattan's 13th District, Democratic Socialist Daria Liza Avila Chevalier won overwhelmingly in precincts squarely around Columbia University's main campus and its medical school, as well as the City University of New York's medical school. Every one of those precincts had a majority of voters under 35 traveling into the Bronx. Ms. Chevalier also swept a precinct that overlapped with the CUNY campus, where the role of younger voters was again paramount. If you look at the raw numbers, behind each yellow arrow on the Times precinct heat map is a sense that an entire generation of New Yorkers is lending a fortune to progressive candidates who promise a more just, equitable economy. The growing trend can be read as a sign that longtime Democrats and people in their 40s and a gamflush are looking for new ideas. Anything from the way the state handles the affordable housing crisis to the rhetoric surrounding international wrong. That is precisely what drives the Democratic Socialist surge in a city that has long been known for its political diversity. In the contest over a new election plan and policy, parties are enrolling the very group that has historically been the backbone of Manhattan's politics, the young. In the end, the story isn't just about a single primary or the triumph of 3/4 of the precincts, that it's about a new mouth of power that the era still is yet to see in a report. Young voters are changing the face of New York politics, and if their trend continues, it could reshape how policies are crafted across the state and across the country. For more stories about how youth is redefining the 21st century ballot box, keep listening. Thanks for joining me for Take Today, and I'll see you next time.